The necklace you're drawn to isn't about taste, it's about truth. Your subconscious already knows where your power lives long before your mind can explain it. In psychology, the symbols we feel pulled toward are not random. They're reflections of something active inside us, a strength, a gift, a capacity that's been quietly shaping your life. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to choose one necklace, not the prettiest, not the one you think you should pick, the one your attention keeps returning to. That choice reveals a hidden power you're already carrying, and once you recognize it, everything starts to move differently. Take a breath, trust the pull, choose your necklace. Message 1. The silent power, control through self-mastery. If you chose this necklace, your hidden power is restraint. You don't dominate environments by being loud. You dominate them by not reacting. Psychologically, this reflects a person whose nervous system has learned that stillness equals safety. Over time, that becomes something stronger, self-regulation. In Jungian terms, this is shadow mastery, the ability to feel intensity without discharging it impulsively. People underestimate you. They assume quiet means passive. That misjudgment gives you leverage. Your presence alone influences outcomes because others project onto you. The human brain fills silence with meaning. You let them. This creates psychological gravity. The danger is suppression. When restraint turns into emotional shutdown, power leaks inward and becomes anxiety or fatigue. Integration happens when you consciously choose when to speak, when to act, and when to withhold. Your power grows fastest when you stop proving yourself. Stillness isn't weakness, it's containment. If this message resonates, comment below. Like and subscribe to help us continue creating messages like this. Message 2. The magnetic power, influence through emotion. If you chose this necklace, your hidden power is emotional influence. You don't convince people with logic alone. You shift them through feeling. Neuroscience shows that humans decide emotionally first, then rationalize. You intuitively understand this. Others feel safe opening up around you because your presence lowers their defenses. In Jungian psychology, this reflects a strong anima-animus connection, the part of the psyche that understands emotional exchange. You read rooms without trying. You sense timing. You know when to lean in and when to pull back. That makes you persuasive without effort. But here's the shadow overgiving. When you unconsciously tie your worth to being needed, you attract people who take without reciprocating. Your power sharpens when you stop emotional labor for those who haven't earned access. Influence isn't about pouring more energy out. It's about choosing where it lands. If this message resonates, comment below. Like and subscribe to help us continue creating messages like this. Message 3. The strategic power, control through perception. If you chose this necklace, your hidden power is psychological strategy. You see patterns others miss. You notice inconsistencies, motivations, and subtle shifts in behavior. This aligns with what Jung called the observer self, the part of the psyche that steps back instead of reacting. In neuroscience, this is linked to prefrontal cortex dominance, delayed response, foresight, and mental modeling. People think they're ahead of you. They're not. You let them reveal themselves first. You gather information before committing energy. This gives you a quiet advantage in relationships, work, and negotiations. The shadow appears when observation turns into emotional distance. When you analyze instead of engage, intimacy suffers. Your power expands when strategy includes vulnerability, not as exposure, but as choice. You're most formidable when insight meets presence. If this message resonates, comment below. Like and subscribe to help us continue creating messages like this. Message 4. The transformational power, power through reinvention. If you chose this necklace, your hidden power is reinvention. You are not attached to old identities. You shed skins. Jung would call this an individuation-driven psyche, someone wired for growth through cycles of death and rebirth. Neurologically, this reflects high adaptability. Your brain forms new patterns quickly after disruption. You confuse people because they can't categorize you. That's not chaos, that's evolution. The shadow is instability. Constant transformation can become avoidance if you never anchor. Power solidifies when change is intentional, not reactive. When you decide who you are becoming instead of escaping who you were, your presence becomes undeniable. You don't just survive change, you use it. If this message resonates, comment below. Like and subscribe to help us continue creating messages like this.